I have a confession to make. I like anime. I actually haven't talked about anime since like October 2020, but my recent experience was so bizarre I had to bring it up. Instead of getting straight into the good stuff, I need to fill you in on a little bit of background info. While I was in high school, I was actively following a manga called Shishunki Bitter Change. My friend recommended it to me during film class, and I thought it sounded right up my alley. You see, most of my sought-after genres for manga are yuri, cross-dressing, and body swapping. These kinds of topics are not a requirement, of course, but I do feel like they can be great vehicles for interpersonal drama and romance. Anyways, Shishunki Bitter Change was a manga about a boy and a girl who swap bodies at a young age and have to live as each other for multiple years rather than just a couple of weeks. I managed to catch up while it was still being released, but I stuck it out and read each new issue as it came out until the series ended. Shishunki Bitter Change isn't one of my favorite manga, but it was one of the first I've read to completion, so it holds a special place in my heart. But lo and behold, we're not here today to talk about the Shishunki Bitter Change manga. I'm here to talk to you about the unreleased Shishunki Bitter Change anime. Bitter Change the Anime, or A Bitter Puberty Change in English, was animated by Studio Shaft, who worked on the Monogatari series as well as Madoka Magica. While in the midst of producing episodes for Magia Record, some employees storyboarded a rough draft for the new series. One Shaft employee reportedly met manga creator Masayoshi in Shinjuku following an altercation with local law enforcement. When asked about creative direction, Shaft stated that Masayoshi gave them the opportunity to make minor changes to the storytelling. Bitter Change, despite its premise, is a fairly down-to-earth manga, so I think that the soft and whimsical style of Shaft's production could add unique flavor to the story. The directing job was offered to Shape of Voice director Naoko Yamada, but was turned down due to her involvement in Kaguya-sama Love is War and Visual Prison. The directing job was finally taken by Hideaki Anno of Shin Godzilla fame. One huge caveat to this video will be that showing you any footage of the anime or talking about any characters not previously mentioned in the manga will break my non-disclosure agreement with Aniplex. Aniplex, please don't sue me. What I can do, however, is discuss some of the creative liberties and narrative changes that were made when translating manga to anime. I would start with the poster art, but I technically can't show you a picture of it, so I'll just describe it to you. It's the same font design as the manga cover, with a graphic that resembles an infinity sign with an arrow and a cross at the end, resembling the Venus and Mars symbols people associate with gender. Now, let's get on to the show. The introduction to the main cast stays the same. The two main characters, Yui and Yuta, fall out of a tree and swap bodies. One thing I immediately appreciated was the voice actors. The video files that were sent to me are in Japanese, and obviously this production isn't yet public knowledge, so I have no idea who the voice actors are. They did a good job trying to mimic what the other would sound like in another's body. A big part of the dynamic between Yui and Yuta stems from their home life. Yuta lives with his loving mom and little brother, while Yui has an estranged relationship with her parents. One of the first changes they made was to give Yui an older sister. In the manga, Yui is an only child, which is an important aspect of how she gets along with others. In the anime, however, Yui's older sister is shown to be a tired-eyed high school loner whose main purpose is to make situations extremely awkward. I thought this was a bad choice and tried to interject some undeserved comedy into the first and second episode. There was a new comedic scene added in the second episode that I did like. Takaoka, Yuta's best friend, has a funny scene where he loses his glasses. In this scene, a bunch of students, including Yuta and Yui's body, can't seem to find the lost glasses. Yui in Yuta's body points out that Takaoka was wearing his glasses on his head the whole time. They all laugh about it, while Yui, in Yuta's body of course, looks on in confusion. Before we move on, I want to establish that when talking about the characters, Yui and Yuta, they are already body swapped. Most of the story has each character in each other's body, so when I mention the character Yuta, think of them looking like this. Another weird change was with the character Kikuchi. In the manga, Kikuchi becomes friends with Yuta, and they bond over their shared taste in music. In the anime, Kikuchi is replaced by a female character named She gets introduced as a member of a band at the school and has an unnecessarily sad backstory. She then sings a solo song during the cultural festival and disappears from existence. It was a really weird choice, and I thought they should have just kept Kikuchi from the manga instead. The finale was the wildest creative decision. I won't spoil the end of the manga, but just know that it wasn't very similar to what we got in the anime. In the anime, Yuta's friend named is revealed to be a nudist.
confesses that she loves Takaoka. Takaoka confesses his love to Yuta, changing their friendship dynamic into a romantic one because Yuta looks more feminine. Yuta falls in love with Yui because he learned more about her by living as her. Yui then falls in love with a mysterious girl named while filming a movie for a school club activity. Since this series was directed by Hideaki Anno, I feel like this was less of a reinterpretation of the pre-established story and more of a commentary on the convoluted love multiple anime fans have with the medium of romance manga itself. If the Bitter Change anime was to ever release to the public, which I sorta hope it never does, I will like it to be an entry point for viewers to check out the original manga. The animation was top-notch, but the attempt to be more bizarre turned out to be too much for a character-oriented show to handle. Before I end this video, I want to thank our sponsor Gakuen Box, a subscription box service geared towards anime fans like me. I just had the box sitting in my room, but I can't find it, so here's some footage of the things that I got. I got this cool ceramic cat. I got this Yoshi Pez dispenser. I also got a Katsuki Bakugo Funko Pop. And I got this Hatsune Miku sticker I put on my water bottle. Go to gakuenbox.com/promo and enter the code ELEAD for 20% off your first 3 months.